Welcome to an Insight Exchange session where we are having a LinkedIn authority, Lynnaire Johnston, who helps professionals, experts, and authors get seen, found, and respected in the world's largest business platform. Lynnaire is going to share details on personal profile versus company pages on LinkedIn, and we're going to have active questions on the topic for Lynnaire right after her introduction. Thanks, Lynnaire. Take it away.
Thank you, Sue. Good pleasure to be here. Kia ora from New Zealand. Yes, we get this question a lot. What is the difference between a personal profile and a company page? And should I have one or t'other, or should I have both? So I'm going to start just briefly talking about the difference between the two. So the personal profile is your belonging to you brand on LinkedIn. So this is your professional branding online. It's your professional story about your career, your aspirations, and your achievements. The company page, by contrast, is about the business. It's all about what the company does, the services or products it provides, and the way it delivers those to its customers or clients. Now, where the two crossover is that on your personal profile, you will want in your experience section to say you work for a company. Now, that may be your own organization, as in my case, in which case then you are connecting to your own company page. If, however, you are working for someone else, then you will be connecting to their company page. One of the main differences between profiles and pages is the level of visibility they get. When you put out content, so that's posts and articles, on your profile, they will get many more views and much more engagement than doing the same on your company page. So where the question then goes is, well, which one should you concentrate on? And the answer is probably obvious by now, your profile. There are many, many differences between the two, and you should, if you are a solopreneur or have a small business, have a LinkedIn company page as well as your profile. But where you should be devoting most of your time and most of your effort is to your personal profile. So I'm very happy to talk about both of those things with anyone who wants to ask me some questions about those and to take that discussion a little bit further.
I find that really interesting, Lynnaire. Thank you for giving us the details of what each page or the profile versus the page are good for, what we can use them for on LinkedIn. I find that the business page takes second seat for me for sure. Often I forget about it. And from what I just heard you say, is that correct? That it definitely gets less visibility no matter how much activity you direct towards that page. It still has lesser visibility than your profile. That is correct?
Yes, and that's because posts from company pages don't get added to our feed. Now, when you look at your LinkedIn feed, you'll see that the posts that are from company pages are all sponsored or boosted. They're paid for. They're advertisements, in other words. But if you are just putting up an organic post, i.e., it's not boosted or paid for, then it's not going to get much traction at all. And we find we've got 5,000 followers of our page. You would expect there would be some good visibility and some good engagement on our posts because if I say so myself, they're not bad. But that just simply doesn't happen. And that has been the trend for the last 2 or 3 years. There's nothing that we can do about that except use it in different ways. There are some workarounds for that. And one that I will share with people if they want to get more visibility on their company page and their brand be seen, that is to comment on other people's posts as their company page. Now, can I have a show of hands? Who does that now? Is it anybody? amongst us who is doing that. Exactly my point. And again, as you've just said, so good, it does tend to play second fiddle. I agree. But if you want your brand to be seen, then commenting as your page is a very good idea. It's a good tip that most of us don't use on a regular basis, unfortunately.
I think, and I encourage any of the panel to jump in and ask your questions. It's just raised quite a few questions for me. I hadn't really thought on the company pages that much. Peter, I'll give you preference over in a moment. What I wanted to say was business page, you say to build a brand. I guess it depends on whether the business name and the brand is really important. It isn't to me. My business name is Sticky Beak Marketing, which has nothing to do with my expos that I'm doing now. It was very interesting, powerful, and something to promote previously when I had my marketing agency, but it is not now. So I'm not really that much around the business page. Peter, you are next with your question.
Lynnaire, I was just wondering, we all have this battle with the LinkedIn algo that it kills our posts or it spreads them and we have no control. But there are things we can do to actually help the algo kill our posts. Do you have any technical knowledge, any experience of whether it's a good idea to post on your profile and then drop exactly the same post on your business page as well?
There's
Does
no you The better way to do that is, in fact, to share it across to your company page. And I do that quite a lot. So you put it up on your profile first, and then you share it across to your business page, your company page, with an extra comment at the top. So it creates a new post actually on your page. But then any interaction, any engagement goes back to your original post. So you
okay.
are using the post twice, in other words,
Hmm.
to be able to get engagement on it. Whereas if you put it up separately, then you'll get engagement separately. So you are better off to put them together and get the engagement off just one, even though you've shared it across to your page from your profile.
But sharing and reposting something is also
They're
a
different.
visibility killer, isn't it?
Yes, I absolutely agree. Reposting just puts the post up instantly, whereas if you repost with your thoughts, which is a really crazy name for what we all know as a share, means that you can add your ideas or opinion or a new intro to it, if you like, as
Hmm.
you are putting it into another place. And you could put it into your page or into a group, for example. But both of those don't do very well, you're right. But it is a good way to get more visibility if you want to have that on a different platform, as in a company page rather than your profile. And another advantage of doing that, Peter, is that it gives you content on your page. So it doesn't look like it's been abandoned. There's something actually going on there. Somebody wants to visit that. And don't forget, there is an argument that says if people are searching for your company name online, then Google may serve up your LinkedIn company page. Now, I don't find that happens terribly much, but you want to have it there just in case that's what happens.
Thanks.
Excellent. Joanne, you've got a question.
Thank you. I had no idea that we could share to my page, so I will do that because it does look deserted. It looks like I don't love it at all. So I'll be the first to put my hand up for that. I'm curious to understand your thoughts about, and I find it interesting that we run businesses, it's a business platform. Newsletters are on our personal profile, which I love. How could we use the newsletter? Can we use the newsletter to build engagement into our business pages? I know we can put in snippets and all sorts of, its capability in a newsletter is so much better. Is there any thought process around that piece, maybe?
Well, you can do the same. You can just copy it across, not copy it, share it across from your profile across to your company page. Or you could have a separate newsletter on your company page. Now, I've been doing that for a number of years, but I decided to stop doing that this year because of the amount of work involved in putting together a newsletter. And so instead, I now share my own newsletter across to my company page. And that's how I get around that. But I think that newsletters are a game changer on LinkedIn. The format means you can add, as you say, a lot of different kinds of content. You can add video, images, pull out quotes, links, all kinds of things, and you can make them look really spectacular and like a website landing page all on their own. And I think that they're amazing for that. And recently, the one of the new features, which is one of the best I think there's been this year, is you can add a video instead of the image at the top of your newsletter. And so that's what I'm doing now. Instead of just having a static image, adding in a video at the top of my newsletter. Now, the reason that newsletters do so well is because every time somebody follows you or you connect to somebody, they automatically, without you having to do a thing, yay, get an invite to subscribe to it. So it's quite easy to build a good audience for your newsletters. On top of which, every time you put out a new issue of your newsletter, it goes to all those subscribers and they'll get both a notification of it and an email about it if they have that correctly set in their settings on LinkedIn. Now, I've turned those off because I was being inundated with newsletters every single day in my emails and simply couldn't keep up. But it's a great way to increase your visibility to have newsletters. And one of the things I've just started adding to mine is little adverts, image adverts to break up the text as I go through, as people read my newsletter or my article, because newsletters and articles are on the same format platform. Then it also allows me to be able to advertise in a way that I've not been able to do before, or you can't do with just your single posts, where you have to have a video or an image or a document or a poll. You can't have the whole lot. Whereas when you put those, you can put all of those into a newsletter, all those videos videos and links and images to make it look spectacular. So I'm an absolute fan of newsletters on LinkedIn.
Thank you for that. I did not know you could put a video at the top. So my next question is, what frequency is best practice for these newsletters? I do mine fortnightly.
Fortnightly is best practice, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I only do mine monthly, and that's because I have been doing on the alternate fortnight one on my company page. However, because I've stopped that, I've started using some articles as my newsletter. So I have once a month the format that I've been traditionally using, which lists all the new features. They've been on LinkedIn. And then for the other fortnight, I'm now doing an article that's usually repurposed content from a live event, one of the events I host or one of the events that I have been a guest on. And I've certainly been reusing the content from the last expo that Sigrid ran, and I'm still just working my way through some of the repurposed content for that. So it's ideal for repurposing content from events that you're involved with. And we've all, here we are this weekend, this Friday and Saturday for us here anyway, involved in this expo, which gives us lots of opportunity to repurpose our content onto LinkedIn.
I think that's the excellent opportunity with repurposing content, because if you have a smaller piece of content, you can expand it for the newsletter or an article, and you can do it vice versa. And I'm going to throw in here very quickly the AI opportunity that we do have these days to help us do that, even out of a longer newsletter, perhaps to create 2 or 3 shorter posts that we can use as well. It still takes time. We can't say I don't have time or it takes no time. It still does take time, but that is a good opportunity as well. So coming back to the business page versus the profile, I still think it is really important to be clear on what purpose it serves to have it. I think that having a business page is certainly a credibility part as well. It shows that, yes, I am this person, but I do actually have a business. Even if I'm a solopreneur or if I'm just, on my own in my business, it is a business. I see it as a professional component of me, and it's not just me. I can come and go. A whole business is something more credible and solid in my
Yes.
thinking.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's important for people who have small businesses or are solopreneurs to be able to be seen as credible on LinkedIn. And no matter what your objective is for that, for being on the platform, unless you are a job seeker, then I think that that really means having a company page makes a lot of sense. It's free, doesn't take very long to set up, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't have it there and not do anything with it. Just have it as a placeholder because it looks good on your own profile. Let's not forget that either. The two are linked, and if you want your own profile to look fantastic, then having a company page with a logo makes complete sense.
Excellent. Do we have any final questions from our panel? Have we answered all of the, has Lynnaire answered all of the questions? Not we, Lynnaire, you're the authority on it. And sometimes the questions come only much later, which is fine as well, because you can be contacted easily, of course, on LinkedIn. But while we are at the expo, on your expo booth, where you have a multitude of opportunities to connect with you and material to download and dig deeper into the valuable knowledge that you have in LinkedIn and how to use it for us as professionals, as people in business. Thank you, Lynnaire.
My pleasure.